This is an official presentation of Sport Fishing Championship.
The SFC season rolls on as the Atlantic Division continues. Competition at the Charleston Carrier Cup, sponsored by Hook. Which team will land the first place finish the next 3 days and bring home the win? The hunt for the Zane and Grey Championship playoffs continues from Charleston, South Carolina. And we'd like to thank you for joining us atop the USS Yorktown. Welcome, everyone, to Patriots Point Museum, Charleston, South Carolina. Our host here on the CV10, also known as the USS Yorktown. He's the man with all the sailfish championships. I'm Robbie Boyd, Peter Miller, and Rudy Tamarchio. We'll speak with you in just a minute, Rudy. We've been waiting for this event for quite some time, ever since it was announced, celebrating the 250th anniversary of our great country. And what a better place to kick it off here than Charleston, where the fishing's always great.
It's so overstimulating to be seeing fish being caught by our teams that are out there competing at a very, very high level. To be sitting on the USS Yorktown, this aircraft carrier. I mean, this is unbelievable. Brian Kelly doing a sound check behind us as we're getting ready to do this. This is just unbelievable. This is America, baby.
Been waiting so long. America. Let's talk about one of our American teams that were out on the water just a couple of weeks ago at Walker's Cay, the second stop of the Atlantic Division. One team's going to win. Who's going to win in Charleston? We know who won at Walker's Cay. Who would have thought new team owner Ben Simmons to go out there in the South Florida Sails taking that title, Peter?
You know, it's all about those ratios, all about that consistency. They just had a 100% hookup ratio on day one. Day two, they had a 90% hookup ratio. That is pretty amazing, very rare.
The Citizens Trophy would go to the South Florida Sails after what was a dominant performance, honestly. They took the lead and never relinquished it. And again, fist bumps all around for that team. Congratulations to him. The first win for Mike King as well. We'll see a lot more of him in time to come. Season standings, clubs will be jockeying for position all season long in the playoff hunt presented by Exotic. Here are the Atlantic Division standings after two tournaments as the top two teams again qualify for that Zane and Grey Championship playoff in October. Things are really, really tight because nobody's been really good for two tournaments in a row. You had a good day and a bad day, or a bad weekend. Or maybe you had consistency and it's kind of mediocre. We saw that out of the East Coast Remix. 2 third-place finishes puts them in 4th place right now. And we talked to J.C. Clear, and he's like, I'm not too happy about that spot. But he had to fight to get 4th at the end. And let's bring in Rudy Tamarchio, our man on the scene, Scoops McGillicuddy. You're here on site, and honestly, that was a big relief for East Coast Remix, and we see them here, and we're going to get to that in a minute. This is the event that they won last year, surprisingly.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the one that I don't think anyone saw them winning this last year until you saw the results. I mean, the sailfish at the buzzer really to kind of help secure that victory too. Huge for them in terms of their playoff push for last year. They just needed more momentum for that second half of the year because when you finish third to Lights Out Boston, to New Jersey Seabirds, who were just cranking up first and second, you got to get that extra finish. But this is where their push began last year.
A lot of info coming out of you here. Well, what you got for us this week? Because there's a lot to talk about, and you're always on the scene.
Right. So we start with Remix, obviously. Because besides what the leaderboard is showing you guys, it's not surprising they're doing it again now. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So we know going in, we're looking at them to be somewhat of a favorite because of their defending title from Charleston. They're doing it again already. And something that we noticed last year, Peter, check me on this, but you've already been talking about the mahi bite that's been going on out there. I remember this from last year when somebody would bring a mahi on the boat. A billfish was coming in next. It just seemed like, yes, the meat fish bring the billfish, but specifically that mahi species offshore here in Charleston seems to be the one that's giving the billfish action on that.
Yeah, and when you have the mahi population around, when you have food, you have tunas, you have mahi, you're going to have smaller fish that they're feeding on, but then guess what? The blue marlin are going to be there feeding on those mahi. They're not easy to catch for the blue marlin because they're always jumping. They're greyhounding, and they have to jump and pound on them and hit them and swat at them, land on them, whereas the tunas, they can race up, stun them, and eat them because the tunas rarely jump. Cup. So that's an interesting thing. But when it comes to these teams, it's really about consistency. It's really about making those hookups count, because you can have 100 fish come to the back of the boat, but if they're coming off, if you got rubber hooks, as they say, there's not much you can do. So the best that Kappa could do is put everybody on the fish, and hopefully everybody connects and gets them to the boat, like we saw with the South Florida Sales of Walkers.
Yeah, and you got more on them as well, because, I mean, they're trying to go back-to-back. That would blow my mind, especially for a new team.
Not go back-to-back, but in a similar fashion that did at Walker's Cay. The fact that they always had the afternoon bite at Walker's, I mean, around 2 p.m., here we are at the 1 p.m. hour, we're going to turn it back on, exactly. We expect to have a few groups following them around today, because Mike King's got history here in Charleston. He ran boats next to Stuart Lackey. He competed against Trey Kemmerlin for years, the homestanding South Carolina outcast. So expect people to be following them around a little bit today. They may not be showing up on the leaderboard yet, but hey, there's still plenty of time before it lines out.
Well, they got that low tide here at 1:24 p.m. So when that tide is low, before it switches and starts going, it's the bike can shut off, it can slow down, but where they are, it may not matter, because they're fishing by the Gulf Stream, and the Gulf Stream coming around these humps, and they're fishing different waters. But that is a tide.
The tournament details: 3 days of fishing, today, tomorrow, and Sunday. 125 miles. That's what they're limited to from Charleston. But lines out, I think they moved it to 8:30 instead of 8 o'clock, but they will have to have their lines out of the water. Citizen line out is at 3 o'clock each day. Had to be in by 8 p.m. too, and that's important also, Peter, because we know we have one team with a good fish that hasn't been verified yet as well. So, yes, we may see it on our cameras we're trying to show you, but if that fish is submerged, you better get the identification on camera and bring it in at 8 o'clock. Or by 8 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, some of the boats they're going to do that boundary. They're going to do that 125. They're going to push it right to the boundary. And in these conditions, it's going to be a long, arduous ride back to the barn, as they say. It's going to be a little sloppy, so you're going to need some time. Maybe you're going 27 knots, maybe you're going 32, but you're definitely not punched in slick, calm water like in the Bahamas or in Miami, like we've seen, where they're doing 45 knots.
Yeah, might be going 15 or 20. Rudy, since you're on the desk as well, I don't remember it being rough conditions. I know we had weather at Walker's Cay last year, but really all of our bad weather was down in the Gulf. We really haven't seen that out of Atlantic, have we?
Last season, we saw, so this tournament was shortened by 1 day last season, where there was a bunch of inclement weather that came through. There was a shelter in place over at Hurricane Hold, but also what you had up in the Northeast, the Mid-Atlantic went crazy.
All right, we're going to step aside for a bit. We're going to take a look at some of that action, and I see more fish on the board since we've been on air. Somebody got hooked up. We'll bring it to you. A lot to talk about. They're looking for the blue marlin. We've had one caught. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Get ready to watch it here on ESPN Plus. We're glad you can be a part of the Carrier Cup.
And it's holding it.
The Charleston Carrier Cup is sponsored by Citizen, official timing partner of SFC. One Water Marine. By Hook, official jersey and performance apparel partner of SFC. And by the Nature Conservancy, conserving the land and waters on which all life depends. Welcome back to the flight deck of the USS Yorktown for the Carrier Cup presented by Hook. Joining us now, the chairwoman of the U.S. Semi-Quincentennial Committee's America 250, Rosie Rios. That is a mouthful, and semi-quincentennial. Didn't know that meant 250th anniversary, but I bet you've said it about 1 million times.
Well, you got it right, and that's why we call it America 250. So there you go.
You've been busy. I know Peter and I, they gave us things to tell us about you and the things that you've done. But whenever I started doing my research, it's not just about here at Charleston where we're kicking off the Brian Kelly concert. You've been busy leading up to this point. The president put your name out there, and you've done a great job.
Well, thank you so much. It really is an honor to serve my country this way. It's now 8 years on this commission, 4 years as chair, and we are hitting the ground running to July 4th and beyond.
What a great thing you're doing, and people have called you a visionary. I read a lot about you, and it's true. You were doing things with the Smithsonian Institute, and you're doing talk about the ball drop, which is very unique. You got to tell us about this.
How exciting! Well, first of all, let's give a shout out to the USS Yorktown. This is amazing. This is probably one of the most fun interviews I've ever had. You can't beat this setting. This is crazy. You're living history here with the ship, the plains. I can't imagine a better place to be, and here in Charleston, by the way. So yes, if you heard the announcement that we made in Times Square on December 31st, we are doing the first ever ball drop outside of New Year's Eve on July 3rd in Times Square to ring in July 4th. In fact, we're not doing one ball drop. We're doing 8 ball drops to represent the 8 time zones of the U.S. So most people probably didn't know that. Actually, in December, there are 9 time zones, and then in July, there's 8. So literally starting on July 3rd at 10 a.m., that is midnight in Guam and the Northern Mariana Islands. Then 21 hours later, it's American Samoa. So that is 8 ball drops worth all the way from sea to shining sea.
That's cool. It's only befitting we're on the Yorktown, which did its tour over there and made its way past Guam, heading back. I also noticed even here, a couple of locations are doing something on 4th of July. I saw just the other day on social media, the Boulder Dam was all lit up red, white, and blue.
Absolutely. Beautiful.
How many different events are there? I mean, is there an actual finite number? Because it seems like they go on.
It should be infinite, right?
Yeah.
I mean, our goal is to engage all 350 million Americans in this effort. 350 for 250 is, if you remember anything, that's the one takeaway. This isn't about one person, one organization. It is about the 350 million Americans that we want to bring together for the very first time, perhaps in our history, and really find those unifying moments of what we all have in common.
Yeah, I recall you saying that on your last interview. If you can remember these 3 words, 350 million for 250 years.
Absolutely.
That's just wonderful. And I saw that you were with you were the New York Stock Exchange. And you're in an Airstream doing tours. You ever do it? It seems like very organic what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's not forced. It's not political. You're doing something really great and including everybody. People are eating together. They're right. Explain. Like,
I love that you're saying that. Absolutely. Look,
Yeah.
I mean, we by law are a bipartisan organization charged by Congress to lead the planning of the nation's 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And the only way to do that is to cast a wide net of participation across the board. And our programming, our values-based programming is exactly that. No politics, just purpose, and make sure that everyone feels like it's an open door for all to participate together. I remember the bicentennial of 1976, right? Thank you. Thank you so much. And it was grand, right? It was such a grand era. And look, our country was having a tough time during that period too, right? We're coming out of Watergate. We're coming out of the Vietnam War. The economy wasn't that great. But boy, did we galvanize together. And I remember very clearly, it was a cloudy night in Hayward, California on July 4th, 1976, but those fireworks were never brighter, and that's exactly what we want everyone to feel for this year. My kids, everyone's kids, this is an opportunity for all of us to come together.
The last thing I also know is donations. People can contribute money. I know in America 250 and find these people, because there's a lot of volunteers that are putting things out there and almost make July 4th be a giving day.
That's exactly right. Oh, thank you for bringing that up. We are making July 4th what we're calling Giving Forth. And Giving Forth is our ability to really galvanize around nonprofits who literally, most of them have to wait till the end of the year to get a lot of their funding. Why not move that needle to the halfway point of the year? Let nonprofits do what they do best. They feed the hungry, they house the unhoused. And so our way of kind of making July 4th meaningful for everyone is through this effort called Giving Forth, which we're launching in earnest very shortly.
Direct them one place, one website?
America250.org. We can't be all things to all Americans, but boy, do we have something for every American, that's for sure.
Do you like fishing?
I love fishing.
Let's take
Sign me up. SFC, here we come.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Rosie Rios, thank you very much for being a part of the Sport Fishing Championship. We're glad to have you. I'm looking forward to all the festivities. I live in Dallas. I know there's something going on there.
Absolutely.
Let's go out on the water. Let's see what's happening out there on the water. As we go to break, we always try and find the fish, and we know there's 7 Atlantic teams trying to catch them now as well. Can't wait for it. American 250, the big Brian Kelly concert tonight. If you haven't got your tickets, you better do so. Rosie might even be there. Welcome back to the SFC Carrier Cup presented by Hook. We're in Charleston, South Carolina. 7 angling clubs out there fishing the Atlantic waters, restricted to 125 miles out. Can't go any further. That would be a slap on the wrist. Peter's keys to success today. Peter Miller's always got the scoop. What would I be doing if I were going out there fishing?
Robbie, when it comes to the keys to success, There's a lot of things you could do, but today I want to talk about lightening up the drag. I kind of touched on it earlier in the show, where when you're on a fish, you don't want to hammer the drag. You don't want to go 40, 50 pounds on these fish. You want to keep it nice and light, keeps them high up in the water column. You get that shot like JC did of getting that leader touch, getting identification of the fish, and if you can't like grab it and get more photos and it pops off, that's fine. You got it. You want to get that early, and that's what that lightening up the drag will do a lot of times. Now, next, we're going to utilize satellite imagery. So I called my good buddy Greg Galagowski over at Roth's, and he sent me a chart, which is absolutely incredible to witness because you can see the eddies, right? So you see that orange, that dark orange water. You see 80, and it says eddy in there. Right above that, you've got like an A-shaped eddy, and you see the arrows start going up, and then they turn into shore. And you see the temperature changes. What happens, the Gulf Stream runs across these big humps, and these pushes around and creates these upwellings, creates an eddy, and then when that water and the arrows push in towards the shore, that's where you want to be. As arrows push in, the better the fishing gets. The bait congregates tighter to the shoreline. So this is very effective stuff. And then we have another graphic we can go to which shows the chlorophyll, and that is the color of the water. Those are the blues and the greens. So when you're going offshore, you can look at these eddies and these currents and the temperature breaks, but what you really want to do is you want to find that really nice blue water. And as you see, as you come off the edge in 60, 80, 100 feet, and you get out to that 1,200, 1,400 feet by these different areas, you see that water looking really good. So not only do you know the eddies there, it also shows you, it proves to you that the hump is there. Next up, Robbie, after showing you all that, I could go on ad nauseum, but we're going to use 30-pound setups. This is the area to do that. You're going to use 30-pound because there's sailfish, white marlin, and smaller blue marlin. That way you can have a consistent setup, but you always want to have the big dog ready. But 30 is the way to go.
Love this. We always bring it to you live if it's happening, and it is happening. We are hooked up. SFC Catch Alert, firing them up. What do we got?
Waters, Robbie. These are their waters. They're hooked up in their home waters.
This would be the first catch and release for the South Carolina Outcast today. They need to get that qualifying catch, get that skunk off the boat. Captain Stuart Lackey, a.k.a. Humpy, as mentioned. You think it's sloppy?
It's a sloppy jalopy out there, and that's when you want to lean into your fish.
Lean
Going
back?
up and down, you want to lean with it. Bad Joe.
So you were doing the lean, I was doing the lean back?
Yeah.
Back.
You got to do the rock away, Robbie.
And you still got to do that power reel at times. Perfect world, that boat's pushing back, you're reeling in, keeping that slack up, and everything just gets done quicker, right?
Keep it tight, that's it. He's got not a lot of work to do when they're backing up. It's nice to do short pumps, smooth short pumps. You keep that line, that belly out of the water, you keep it coming. You got the cameras all around, you've got 3 cameras going, you got a 360, you've got our cameraman, everybody's doing everything, and you've got a lot of sargassum out there. That's a Clumposaurus.
Yeah, that could be problems. I heard Dakota Hawkins probably got her camera rolling, but yeah, that vegetation could be a problem.
Watch out. There it is. That's a sailfish right there.
75, I saw that plus. So one on the board, and you definitely saw that was a sail. Let's find out how it went down. This right here shows you a lot, doesn't it?
He's dropping, and he's tight. Perfect.
Didn't take long, did it? I mean,
It ate perfectly, came out, popped out, dropped back, locked it up, didn't reel, didn't pump, didn't do anything crazy. It's amazing how the circle hooks work when you just let it happen.
We'd like to thank our crew back there at the TBN Control Center giving us this footage and shows you just how quick it can happen. It can happen again, Peter, and we're looking for it, especially with the sails, we're looking for multiples. So if they get one and we just saw them release it, there's probably another one pretty close by. who knows, by the time we turn for break, maybe we've got another hookup. Stick with us and find out. Make sure you join us in a couple of weeks' time. We'll be in Gulfport, Mississippi for the Gulfport, Mississippi Open, last year's event, won by the Third Coast Renegades. We're going to try and see if they can go back-to-back, the defending Gulf champions. Got some makeup to do. Actually, they don't. They won the first event on the Gulf side as well in Key West, Florida. That's in 2 weeks' time. We'll be back in Gulfport.
And that's where we're going to see some bigger fish. You know, that's where we see the big ones. The tuna tubes, they're using 10-pound bonitas and tunas for bait. It's a whole different fishery.
That'll be June 12th through 14th. And yeah, they make some long runs out to those waters here. They're restricted to 125, where, you know, you go in the Gulf, you could go 125, and there's always that one team or two that goes out 250, 300 miles.
So the difference here is we've got a lot more to fish to. You know, I feel like we've got a lot of things going on with the currents and the eddies and the different mounts and the humps and the bumps. They have so many different names for everything here. It's kind of fun, you know. I mean,
you're not
Charleston bump, the Charleston bump northwest, and then you got the hole. You got Charleston Ridge, which is not that funny. Then you got the Bloody Marsh.
Yeah.
Bubble Rock, big ammo dump. This is the remix coming on earlier.
11 o'clock hour for them. They'd already had a catch by Amar Hernandez earlier, a sailfish. And the first catch of the tournament put 75 points on the board. But watch this. That doesn't look like sailfish pressure.
As a guaranteed, not a sailfish. Anytime you got heat like that, unless that fish was body wrapped and had a couple of 20-pound leads hanging off his tail, that would be possibly that, and covered in weeds. This is, you know, this is the fish that they saw. They know what it is. It ate, and, you know, the fish is on. So, again, lighter drag, keeps the fish up in the column, get the release as fast as you can, get the ID with the GoPro underwater, and if he takes off, you fight it to completion, and you do whatever you can to see if you can get more footage. But they had already gotten the footage and the touch.
So you see the point tally at the bottom of the screen. We know with that sail, this is a blue marlin. You see the Seabirds have 450 on the screen. We have still not yet to see it, but they have a blue marlin as well. That's what we came here for, blues. If there's sails in the mix, fine, that's points, but we want to see these blues.
We want action. ACTION. That's what we need, Robbie. We need some pom-poms over here. You know, we're going to jump ahead on this fight because this was a little bit of a longer fight. It's a little sloppy out there. You know, it's a give and take. You know, the fish takes off on that lighter drag sometimes. But, again, the benefit of the lighter drag, get the release, get the touch, get the video. At least you got it under your belt. It's an investment. You put it in the bank. You put it in the stock market. You're not going to touch it. Then wind it back in.
You see the cameraman on the right side, you know, the one with a pole, with a GoPro, a 360, whatever it is. They have to get video verification of what that species is. We've got a cameraman on board, but we can only get the, you know, above the surface. What's happening down below that's going to be the difference maker.
The fact that he's even leaning over doing that means he's in eye shot of the fish. He can see the white belly or the black back or whatever he's seeing right there. He's not going to be filming for absolutely no reason. Right. So the key is just to identify that dorsal fin and make sure that it is indeed a blue marlin. It's definitely not a sail, definitely not a white. We know it's of the larger species, of the 450 point species, that is.
Get points paid for each individual species, the most being that blue marlin. There are no black marlin around these parts.
They're around, a couple here and there.
They make it all the way like Africa, right? You can see some. They really sneak over here as well. Black marlin, or that's all the west. No, stripes are west. Africans have blacks as well, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Right? Cape Verde?
Yes.
I've been reading.
Yes. You've got it. You know, you have the multiple species. When you go for that Royal Slam, you've got Pacific blues and Atlantic blues. Slightly different genetics, right? But you know, they don't know a boundary. They could easily swim around and be like, "Excuse me, I'd like to join your team. I hear the Atlantic's pretty great right now." So you have the white marlin. That's it.
Yeah.
In the Atlantic, you've got the striped marlin in the Pacific. And then you've got your swords, they're everywhere. Sailfish, Atlantic, Pacific. And then your black marlin, Pacific. We don't have them in the Atlantic. I wish we did. And then you got your spearfish. They're both. You got them over there in Hawaii, over in the Pacific. You know, I caught mine over there, and they catch them over here on the East Coast as well. Short bill, long bill spearfish.
The crazy thing is we've seen the more rare variety way back when here in the Atlantic. And yeah, as we start progressing up the Atlantic coastline, we'll work our way up.
You hear that line cracking off.
Cape Cod, I'm hearing.
You hear it cracking off the reel right there. So, you know, the drag is, you know, it's definitely a formidable fish and a little heavier drag than he probably had earlier.
We're the ones. We're the ones playing thumb wars.
We'll be working our way up the Atlantic seaboard, working our way up to Cape Cod, coming back, but even around those mid-Atlantic states where the white marlin are more prevalent.
On curly her.
Back around Rhode Island.
How long?
In Newport, new event on the schedule.
Sorry, Chappie. Good job. Turning her off. Can I turn her off?
So that is a catch. They verified what that catch is, but our IGF TO did not as of yet back in our control studio. So if they want to send us that video while we're on air here on ESPN, we can go ahead and get that verification done. If not, they'll probably have to do it after.
Wanted. Got the leader touch? Yep. Good job. Get another one. Good job, Brent. Oh yeah, Cappy. Good job, Brent. Good job, Jay.
JC's the man.
On that tackle, you're going to have a little longer leader because when you have heavier line, IGFA says you get a little bit longer leader. So that's also a benefit when you're fighting a fish like that. Every inch counts.
Chandler Miles on board this week. Kenny Hernandez, George Corzo, Brent Feder, and Aymar Hernandez. Aymar actually caught a sail earlier today. Looking at the 7 boats representing the Atlantic out on the water right now. Had to hook up just a little while ago. Looks like things are calm. They're still searching. The Charleston Carrier Cup is sponsored by No Rivals. Billfish Conservation Project. Guidesley, official booking partner of SFC. And by Grizzly. So the catch alert's been going off today. We have the East Coast Remix in the lead, followed closely by the New Jersey Seabirds. Seabirds, very strong in 2025, one of our 2 teams that moved on to the Zane and Grey Championship playoffs. Last year's Zane and Grey teams representing the Atlantic were the Lights Out Boston crew as well as New Jersey Seabirds. One thing in particular, Peter, is East Coast Remix put on a hard fight until the bitter end, just could not make it. They need to start off this season better than they did last year.
Seabirds are in a turn there. You got Kenny down the center of the pipe on the Remix. Winding in a bait, checking things out. Got the sails, a little body language there in the corner.
Speaking of the Seabirds, at almost the 1 o'clock hour, New Jersey Seabirds were hooked up again with the right kind. You see that point total at the bottom of the screen. Let's see how it went down. First time for us, Petey. All hell was breaking loose.
Still waiting, just dropped.
Hell yeah.
but you see the intensity just when they spotted it.
Well, he dropped. He's already tight. You got to be patient. That's what they were. Hear him, he's just laying there, so that's when you can come back on him. You can try to go fast on him, but you know, it's not easy. And the chance of him staying there and laying there, usually they erupt right after you say that, and then it becomes a battle. Let's see, he is backing up. Looks like he's starting to, no, he's still bumping a little bit. No, he's backing.
There he is right here. There he is. Come on, the door. I got him. All right, we got leader touch. We got the leader touch.
Wow.
That
was like 1 minute.
That was ludicrous speed.
Well, that's what we talk about, Robbie. You gotta, if you can get those fish fast, it's almost like you forgot that you even got that 450. We got Marlin Melchiori on there. That he's been catching so many blue marlin.
Not Steven, but Marlin Melchiori.
Yeah, Melchiori, yeah. We call him M&M right now.
Day one here.
Day one. Fishing's a little slow today, really tough with a lot of grass. I know crew really needed it. Jarrett did a great job, pitched it. Blaine called him out, coming up on the left short. Awesome teamwork by everybody. Great way to keep the momentum on the first day.
Awesome.
Rest of the day, like to finish strong if we can. Catch another one, pair of sails would be nice, but keep the morale going and close out the day strong.
Melchiori, you know, he's known to catch many, many marlin these days, and like a politician, he comes through. Hey, thank you. I want to thank everybody, my team. I want to thank you for, you know, allowing me to be here. He's the most polite marlin fisherman that ever lived. That's right. He's got a lot of titles right now. But you see how important it is to work as a team and make those moves. And when the fish is laying there, you know what that means, Robbie? Sometimes they took the bait down a little deep, and they're just trying to figure out what on earth is going on. I'm being abducted by aliens. I'm being, you know, things are happening. I'm not really sure what's going on. I don't really like it. I'm going to lay here for a minute. Fish laid there, backed right up to it, and they got him.
Sounds like Stevens the one able to get it in, but Jarrett the one enticing that fish.
They spotted it immediately. You know, telltale signs. Very, very easy to determine what they are when they're a certain size and they push a certain amount of water and they put their back out and their bills are much broader, especially at the base there and the tip. And then you have the, you know, the dorsal, which is the telltale.
Didn't have Trey Burton on board this week. I thought he was kind of like their good luck charm, but I don't think he's on board this week. Didn't feel great. Captain Blaine Birch, you heard him. That was the strong voice from up top. Blaine he means business. Probably our strongest guy, or he'll tell you he's the strongest. But the Birch boys, very, very efficient. That was the quickest catch and release we've seen, right? I mean, literally very, very fast turn.
Yeah. That was expeditious. It was like they were on a time crunch, you know? They had to catch a flight out of here.
Yeah.
They needed that fish.
Those ones, hey, we're 2 fish down and there's 2 minutes left. We got to do it. You know,
and you see how fast it is, Robbie. I mean, you go from tied for sixth place all the way to second place.
But we've seen sails caught literally hooked up and released that quick, and still that's an amazing feat.
Well, what I really want to see, Robbie, is this instant replay, which is going to show the blue marlin jumps that they just caught right here. Right next to the boat, blasting the water. That's a nice size fish.
IGF-TO instant replay, so now she can say, yep, that is a blue.
1,000%. If that was a sailfish, there would be a full doping measure, you know? The Dope Olympics.
Shows you how fast it could happen. That one fish, it was verified by Lynette and Courtney back at Command Central, and moves the Seabirds up into second. If they catch a sail, they'll be in a tie, because again, Remix already have a sail and a blue marlin. Again, it's all about the points. It's a 3-day competition. We're still getting started. Over an hour and 20 minutes left in this day. So back to the USS Yorktown, our home base for the Carrier Cup presented by Hook. This boat was laid down in 1941. It was launched in 1943. The only thing quicker, I think, than building this ship was the turnaround we saw on the New Jersey Seabirds there with that blue marlin. Either way, both are in remarkable time.
You know, it's about consistency, but if you can catch a fish in 1 minute flat, especially a blue marlin, he ate the bait, hooked him up, fish laying there on the surface, you back into a nasty sea, and you get the opportunity to touch that leader, and you've already got the video, it is the perfect world. It's like everything just was excellent. Life is good, and you've got 450 points. You go from last place right up into second place with that fish. Melchiori got it. Marlin Melchiori on the New Jersey Seabirds.
You have your next son. Can you Marlin for a first name?
I thought about it. I had named my dog Marlin back a long time ago, and I couldn't name my son Marlin after naming my dog Marlin.
I can't do that.
I thought about it.
Hey, on a roll. Let's find out. South Florida Sails. They won the last stop a couple of weeks ago when we were at Walker's Cay. Can they do it again? To do that, they need to catch fish, big fish, or multiples of fish. Let's take a look at South Florida Sails, what happened with them earlier today in the 1 o'clock hour. It got fast and furious.
Right flat.
You got Captain King at the helm. He already dropped. He's going to be coming tight momentarily. We got one tight.
Pull that chain down.
South Florida Sails, a quick sweep, a 60-foot Spencer. Trying to go back-to-back this week.
This is where you're hoping for another bite. See him jumping out there, sailfish.
You guys both hooked up?
I believe they already have a double. They already got a double.
Are they both hooked up
right now. You know what you don't hear?
What?
Nobody's talking, Robbie.
It's different than we saw at the Seabirds, right?
Well, because that was when you have a blue marlin come up, it's like, the chosen one has arrived.
Yeah.
Everybody pay attention. When it's a sailfish, you drop, you got one on, you get a double. It's cool, calm, and collected. Maybe you're even going to get a third. So everyone's calm. They know what to do. They just won the last tournament over in Walker, so it's smooth operators all the way.
So yeah, when you have one, it's a good thing. When you have two, it's another. That's the case with the South Florida Sails. Lee Albardi and Paul Spencer with fish on. And you looked at me and you're like, Spencer, Paul Spencer?
Paul Spencer, the boat builder, he's on the boat with them. We used to roll around the Spencer, our Get Lit boat. They're 60 Spencer. Beautiful boats.
Two-time SFC champion, Mr. Spencer, right, on Quantum Park?
Rumbling back. That's the reverse rumble, they call it, Robbie.
The reverse rumble. I'm learning so much stuff today.
Man, I have too much in this melon.
Oh,
You know the human head weighs 14 pounds. They were not right in Jerry Maguire. It's 14 pounds. It's not 8 pounds or 9 pounds, 14.
Stand right here, bring left.
And it sits on a 2-ounce bone, which is called an oscillate. These fish are important, They're sailfish. They're 75 points, yes, but they are very point precious. If they catch both, they get 150 points. 360 cams, GoPros, and cameramen on these fish, following all the action.
Jumping right back there. Get it on the camera, guys. Get it on the camera.
Perfect.
Yeah, remember how we were talking about that with the blue earlier?
Yeah.
It just makes it easier for us.
And a lot of times when it's calm, when you have a calm shot like that, it's a lot easier to film when you're in the trough. Fish is coming right at him, showing himself pretty well, I should say.
Mark.
South Florida Sails second in the championship. At the top of the show, I mentioned how nobody really did great in both tournaments. South Florida Sails started with a 5th place in the Atlantic, and they backed it up with a victory.
There it is, one of our newer teams, Ben Simmons.
Go that way, go that way.
Put together quite the team here.
Mike King, these are kind of his home waters too. I mean, he spent some time with Stuart Lackey in this area, so he knows what he's doing. It's just been a while since he's been here, but hey, it's the same water. Might have changed a little.
Like I always say, Rob, you could drop these guys anywhere and they'll make it happen. They'll find that good water, they'll find the right color, they'll find the chlorophyll situation, the currents, the eddies, the temperature breaks, the right baits.
That electronics you talked about helped a team that maybe hasn't fished these waters in a while. They can do a lot of make-up homework, really.
Well, you get the reports, you get them from, Rob's reports. I've been getting them since for like scores of years, and you get them the morning of, and it would tell you what the most productive spot, where it is and what it'll be and what the temperature break looks like. So getting this from them is really important. You get it the night before. There it is, 75 points right there at the side of the boat. Another 75.
Glad they still like us.
Maybe we'll get a little word from the guys.
You did it. Hey, Paul, how you feeling?
Even the lights out seabirds do. This would be a team.
How you
Look
feeling,
for
Paul?
this.
Well, good. We ain't caught nothing, so we did an old trick. We had ice cream, and lo and behold, a double. Woo! I'm telling you, that boy up there, you gotta feed
Double
the fish
scoop, baby.
finder.
Yeah.
we give him some ice cream, and there it goes.
It's not live cereal, but Mikey likes it, and it's ice cream.
You got that right.
We got to figure out what flavor was the catch of the day.
Oh yeah.
Maybe mint chocolate chip. Looking back out on the water.
Could have been blueberry. They were trying for the blue marlin. And patiently awaiting the next bite. So we've got 6 boats with fish. 1 boat is waiting, bated breath. That was Paul Spencer and Lee Albardi on those 2 sailfish on the South Florida Sails.
North Carolina Flare, we haven't mentioned that in this hour. We did on YouTube, I believe, a very limited field. They only got like 3 crew members, the dressers, not on board today. They're at a wedding. So I think it's a little more important, especially somebody that's really, really close to you, and they'll be out fishing. But to see 2 sailfish.
Wait, Robbie, can't you do a Zoom wedding these days?
I do
Can't
not.
do Zoom?
Yeah, you tell that to your wife.
Ah,
Yeah.
what a production.
I got married in Cancun. I was almost got arrested on my wedding day, swimming in a national park without a life jacket.
Oh, a life jacket. I didn't think you were going to say that, Robbie. I did not know that.
No, I was not doing that. But you know who was with me? My mother-in-law. So my mother-in-law and myself almost got arrested on my wedding
Wow.
day.
No life jacket for her either.
No,
huh?
either. No.
No. Doesn't sound like very safe swimming.
You have that current that you always talk about. There's one right there in front of East Limo Mujeres. So you had to move. Stay there.
I'm going there in 2 days.
It's awesome. Nice weather for this first day of 3 in Charleston. We're expecting some weather to start coming in overnight. I'm hoping it's clear skies tomorrow, followed by Sunday. But right now, some pretty good catches. First day, already a couple of blues and several sails as well. Hey, we aren't the only ones in Charleston for the Carrier Cup. BK Brian Kelly takes the stage tonight to perform at sunset in the America 250 Summer Kickoff Concert presented by Hook from right over there on the flight deck of the USS Yorktown. There's still time to get your tickets now at sportfishingchampionship.com. We are live and we are ready to show some fish catches, but we've got a hell of a party tonight. We want you to be a part of it. We're living over there on the other side of the bay in Charleston. It's about a 10-minute drive, and you can be ready. I'm ready to be there. Peter Miller, Robbie Floyd, and BK on camera, on site, and ready to perform tonight, bud. You ready to have a good time?
Absolutely. Jacked. We just sound checked, and this is just this is something else, man. Being on a American icon aircraft carrier, USS Yorktown. This is just being on here and just trying to figure out how this thing's still floating, to be honest with you, because it is absolutely massive and just an honor to be here.
Speaking of floating, Petey, did you see what I saw with another vessel that BK?
Yeah, Brian, you had this beautiful boat, and the name and everything was beautiful. I kept talking about it, and all of a sudden you got another boat. So you went from what to what?
We went from a 52 to a 67, and I guess I kind of get it from my dad. I grew up, he was always moving things, flipping things, and maybe on a different level. And, we had the 52 for not too long, and
not even a year.
Did a couple upgrades, and I think she's maybe about to find a new home, and we jumped on the 67, and just great shape, and feel like we kind of leveled up for the Gulf.
Yeah.
And I know the team's fired up about it. Beautiful boat. Got a history of being a real fishy boat, and I think this season's going to be epic.
The name?
It'll be Brittany Marie.
Yeah, I didn't know if you put two on there or not. Or you just
I'm just going to go OG Brittany Marie, yeah.
That's cool. His wife's name out there. Either way, and he probably needs it. Some of these Gulf events, they're not smooth. A bigger boat might help you get there because, again, they're making those long runs in the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, it's less impact on the body, that larger boat, right? A lot more space. It's a little smoother. I'm sure you've got all kinds of seakeepers in there, and you're ready to roll. And, my favorite, first of all, getting ready to do this YouTube show, listening to you sound check was getting me super fired up because it was like we had our private concert right behind us here, and it was absolutely amazing. And you were there doing your thing. You're cool as a cucumber, man. You're just like fishing, you're catching, you're doing this. You're great at everything you do. And you also played baseball. Didn't you play baseball when you were?
Played all through college, and baseball was quite the journey for me. My dream was to be at Florida State. Went there 2 years, didn't get much playing time, but it was a dream for me to come true, and moved to Daytona State, then went to Belmont for 2 years, and that's kind of been my life story. My musical journey kind of happened through all of that, and actually, FSU baseball kicks off the regional tournament today.
I know you were going to get it.
So at 3 o'clock, I'm going to be watching my phone and making sure the boys are doing their job.
What position?
I pitched, left-handed pitcher.
Oh man.
Wow.
I wish you were right-hand. I give my son. He's got one more year. He throws 90, but he's a righty.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Come on.
So I think of Coastal Carolina. What are you going to be up to this summer? I know you were on a big tour last year, hitting all the beach cities, doing a lot of stuff. What's the plan this year? Because I know it's 93 always in the Keys.
That's right.
It's 80 here in Charleston. Where are you at next? What are you doing?
I hadn't kind of where my headspace has been this year. I turned 41 in August, so back half of my 40th, I kind of made this decision last year. I was like, I'm going to basically base my schedule around fishing this year. I'm going to take some time this year and fish as much as I can, put out music, do some content, do a couple shows, but be home, be fishing, be with family, get some things done, and just take a little bit of a different year. I'm calling it a saltwater sabbatical.
I like that.
I've got a song to come under that name at some point. Man, just loving and enjoying life, and not being too, the past 15, 20 years for me, I've had a schedule just about every single day, and to kind of take a little bit of a selfish year. Some me time. And man, we had so much fun fishing last year. I think I fished maybe half the tournaments, and I want to be out as much as I can, and I know the next couple of years will probably get a lot busier, and so this is kind of the year to make some more things happen.
Well, Peter, and my favorite deals is when you had a concert one night, traveled out, hopped onto the boat, and that we saw your first blue marlin.
Don't play it down. Didn't travel out. He went like hundreds of miles at 70 miles an hour in the dark
after a concert
to arrive at the Gulf Coast Cowboys, to jump on and then proceed to catch a blue marlin right after that.
Hey, I know.
This guy's an Iron Man.
It's crazy. I love it, man. I know y'all know it. Just when you get out there and you're doing your thing, blues, sails, whites, whatever it is. Really, blues for our team is what we're always after, and we're just ate up with it. It's been a long off season, and we're all chomping at the bit to get out there and see if we can make some history.
Trying to make it to the Zane and Grey Championship playoffs. Got to come in the top two. You're ready to kick things off. You see that No Rivals hat. Also, you can represent the Gulf Coast Cowboys. He's pulling for that as well. Team owner, we'll see him in a couple of weeks' time. Kicking things off, Petey. Good having you on board.
Thanks for having us.
Uh-oh, New Jersey Seabirds. They are hooked up like a tow truck. Is this a big one?
Yeah, well, it's a bigger profile rod, I'll tell you that, Robbie.
The last time
looks like he's getting a harness on. He looks like he's getting the reach around.
That's what I said. It did look like, you know, they're rigging for bear, or AKA.
There's no way he's getting the reach around with the sailfish.
No. Less than 100 pounds.
Oh my God! I hear we got another hookup. Let's see who it could be. I think we have another hookup coming in from the outer space.
I think the North Carolina flare with a mahi.
With a bent rod, and a mahi. Yep. So we'll stick with the birds.
Yeah, let's stick.
When that fish is angry, you see the rod tip bouncing like that. It's going absolutely berserk. Yeah, usually, like he said, usually when you have that heavy bounce like that, they'll come up scoped up and come up jumping, and that's when you're going to go into turbo mode, back up, reverse rumble, get that leader, get the camera in. Whoa, that is a swing of height. He's like 8 feet in the air. You can lean into these, Robbie, right? Like you're another shock absorber along with the rod. There it is. Just busting out there. Thundering back.
Yeah, this would move them with a blue, would put them into first place. And be a pair of the last that we had seen. A couple of fish.
Could it be the same angler?
Sun's in my eyes. They got the thing 80.
I mean,
you got the best opportunity.
They all have big lats, you know, on the boat. It's hard to determine who's who, but Melchior, you know.
A little better. You think that whole boat works out?
He's taking line. I'm going to need a different angle on him in a minute.
We're going to go down sea. No.
All right.
We're going down sea.
You know, Robbie, when he's talking about the different angle, when you got a fish that keeps going away, and you can't make any headway on it, you got to change things up because they get comfortable in a certain position wherever the hook is located, the pressure you're putting on them by backing on them, taking up the slack. Sometimes you got to quarter off. You got to go up sea. There it is. That's a blue marlin. That's a big profile jump.
But you got to make the back end of that boat turn around. It's just a little different.
Well, the fish scoped up there.
Yeah.
The fish scoped up there, like he said it was doing, but they thought they were going to have to spin around on them. Sometimes you want to pull away.
Yeah.
You want to pull away from the fish and let that fish get comfortable, and they'll scope up on their own, and then you start to come back on them, but they'll have a tendency to sink. So then you got to do it again. It's like back and forth, and finally sometimes the fish will give up sooner than later.
Get nice and tight.
All right, here we go. Get back.
Got about an hour left in our.
All right, he's paddling through the waves right now.
There he is. There he is. Go.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful, man.
Nice. Woo. Yep. Feels like we're there, baby. Live TV. Wow. Man.
We've got a runner.
I hate to see you leave.
Yeah.
But I like to watch you go.
And the whole time it's doing that, there's just more line going out too. That's unfortunately, that's part of it.
That's okay. The fish is getting a little tired by doing that. Probably lay on the surface there. It's probably not going to sink down. They're going to keep that tension. They're back and they're thundering back right now.
It's all good for you because you're sitting here in the studio. He's got to reel that fish.
That's okay. That's okay, Robbie.
All right, he's right here.
Blaine's got to back that boat up as well.
Still on the surface.
Get ready to crank, ready? Back up. Crank it, 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 crank it. Yeah!
All right.
They win.
They know. They know where they're sitting.
Oh, yeah. That fish is literally right there.
They're probably watching ESPN as we speak.
Oh, yeah. Another 450 for the Birds. Put them in first place handedly with 900 points.
Thank you, guys. We'll just keep the lures out all weekend.
Suck.
Oh, I told you something, didn't it?
It didn't tell me something. It told me everything.
Wait, what?
What?
You all right, Jay? Watch this bait swing. Audio mic.
All right, we got to put a shirt on.
Wait, here. It's fine, it's fine.
No, so I need to yell that. I already got to yell that before.
So that's 5 sailfish
here we go.
to tie up the Seabirds. So they got to catch, Remix has to catch 5 sails to just tie the Seabirds, right? Did I have that right?
You know, that only happens when you go down the salon and do 3 sets of 10.
What? You catch a blue marlin, they make you do push-ups? What are we doing here, Blaine? What are we doing? I think we're going to have a wardrobe change. Might actually get to talk to him. He'll be happy to talk to us probably in this next hour.
All right. Good idea.
Going to a turn on him. And
Good job, boys.
come up
Great
job. Turn. Got a nice beautiful pitch bite out of him. And Jay did a great job fighting him. So that's our number 2. Hopefully we get another one for the end of the day and go from there.
Wonder if he had any ice cream like South Florida Sails. What his snack of choice? That was a peach, wasn't it, Peter? That sucker.
Blueberry.
What a runner! What a show that blue marlin put on, and the Seabirds are on top as of now. The Charleston Carrier Cup is sponsored by Coast Guard Foundation, Exotic Outdoors, Recess, and by Caparian. What a sight, the USS Yorktown. So much to see and do here. So much opportunity to catch blue marlin as we have a new leader. New Jersey Seabirds right before we went to break, catching their 2nd blue marlin. Remix now dropped to 2nd. There's only one team of our 7 without a qualified catch here on day 1. That's the Rhode Island Breakers. What a catch, though, and a lot to pontificate on, Peter. And we heard something about lures, and we questioned, what that technique may be. We may have to ask them tonight. But we did catch up with Jay Brower, I believe, after that catch just a moment ago.
What a great experience. Again, Blaine Birch puts us on the fish. Jared Birch right there throwing the pitch bait. This is the best team. We got the best owner. I want to give a shout out to Ken Hager. He's at home not feeling well. Just want to know that we did this for you, buddy, and we love you. Go Birds!
Didn't realize the bear wasn't here this weekend. He was listening. Yes, I hope you're feeling better, Ken. We love you too.
Yep, I feel better, Ken. This is a great thing that they're doing, and it's always nice to be able to be sitting at home healing up and trying to get better, and your team's doing well out there and giving you a shout out. It's inspiring, Jay actually sent me a message the other day, and he said he'd been watching Uncharted Waters and Bass to Billfish for a long time, and he's looking forward to saying hello. So tonight we're gonna meet up at the Brian Kelly concert. But you see how quickly you can just jump. You hopscotch, bing, 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 and you work your way up to first place with 2 blue marlin. They're not fooling around with the sailfish. They're luckily getting those blue marlin bites, and that is tremendous, especially in these conditions. It's a little rough, but again, it's something they do all the time. Drop them anywhere, they're going to get it done. And it's a question of, hey, let's change it up. Put out different teasers. Let's put out some lures, throw in some big wake, some big bubbles, big smoke trails. Maybe that'll bring up the fish. Even if they don't eat them, maybe they'll come to the teaser, and then you drop back a bait and catch them that way. So you're employing all the different tactics. You've got all the different tackle ready. And as you see the one here in the launcher, you see the other rods that are in the riggers for the long ballyhoo, and then you have the short ones snapped into the transom clips. It's a whole thing they got going on there.
Well, I see the Citizen lines out. It's ticking down 49 and change. Official timekeeper of Sport Fishing Championship. Citizen will be counting down the hours and minutes of every competition this season, all the way to the final seconds of the Zane and Grey Championship playoffs. Will we see something like we saw in the Zane and Grey last year? It came down to those last few minutes, and teams like the Seabirds with a chance to take home that title. We know it was the Texas Lone Stars who would do so, but don't count anybody out there, and definitely don't count anybody out in Charleston.
Welcome back to our live coverage on ESPN Plus of SFC's Carrier Cup. SFC insider Rudy Tamarchio, don't worry, Peter and Robbie are safe. They have not jumped off the ship at all. We're here on the flight deck of the USS Yorktown. I'm joined by a longtime friend of SFC, a partner of ours at the Coast Guard Foundation, Ron Lebrecht, Chief Communications and Marketing Officer. Did I get that order right? Chief Marketing Communications?
It's all good.
We got pleasure having you on the show today. Wanted to get started a little bit. You have some history in the past with this ship as well, I understand.
Well, so the USS Yorktown is such a famous ship, not only for its wartime service, but because of, what it's named after, right? The Battle of Yorktown, the place where the United States earned their freedom from Great Britain. My family, we toured this ship about 10 years ago. I got to tell you, the foundation here does a fantastic job keeping this ship up. This is a huge undertaking to keep a ship like this afloat and looking good and interpreted for people. They've done a fantastic job. It's wonderful. And if I might say that USS Yorktown, the Battle of Yorktown, the Coast Guard has a connection there, right? Because, George Washington defeated Cornwallis. One of his lieutenants, one of his key people was Alexander Hamilton. Alexander Hamilton's the father of the Coast Guard when he was Treasury Secretary. And so there's a Coast Guard training center at Yorktown right now that's training new coasties to do their jobs all around the world.
And it's all full circle because there's a reason why the Yorktown is here in Charleston, South Carolina. They talk about how a lot of the battles here is the reason why Cornwallis had to go back up north and try to support some of his fellow generals that were up there. He gets encircled and has to surrender. So that's one thing from what I heard. And then also when it comes to the ship and its history as well. I mean, just hearing about how the Coasties had played such a great part in America's history. We hear about the Navy, we hear about the Army, but tell us a bit more about how the Coast Guard is constantly doing more in the defense of our country, including in foreign conflict as well.
Yeah, that's a great question. So, I mean, the great thing is, again, coming full circle, right, is we're in Charleston. Charleston is one of the original 10 ports where the Coast Guard was established by Alexander Hamilton. It was known as the Revenue Marine at the time. Fast forward to today, 236 years later, Charleston is an official Coast Guard city, and that's because we have over 1,000 Coast Guard members. We have the sector, the air stations down the road, search and rescue boats. Right across the water, there's 4 national security cutters. These are the Coast Guard's most capable ocean-going ships. They're serving all around the world. They're combating drugs in the Caribbean, in the Eastern Pacific. They're supporting the U.S. Navy in the Far East. They really take on all the missions that the United States needs: a naval combatant, a naval ship with military and law enforcement capabilities, right? But it's in support of the Navy. It's in support of whatever that combatant commander is. So there's Coast Guard members deployed nationwide or worldwide right now, and many of them are coming out of this port.
Speaking of this port as well, we have another event that's going on tonight. Brian Kelly is going to be on the stage that's over behind us. We had him on the show earlier. Am I giving away anything by mentioning there's probably a little bit of involvement with the Coast Guard as well tonight?
Yeah, so we're really excited that Brian's going to give this concert on this historic ship. We're going to do a flyby, the Coast Guard Air Station in Savannah. Going to do a flyby right after the national anthem. So hopefully you'll all see a beautiful Coast Guard helicopter.
Another thing about the Coast Guard, too, when it comes to you guys doing your flyovers as well, I mean, we've seen this at multiple sporting events over the years. I think I've seen it in college football, some of the national championship games. Can you tell us about some of the logistics that's involved in doing that, too? I mean, coming up from Savannah, not too far, but again, that's quite a long round trip for a helicopter.
Yeah, it's a good point, right? Helicopters have limited fuel, and so they really have to time it just right. And we hope they hit their mark tonight and they're on scene right after the national anthem. But obviously they train for all sorts of things, right? Search and rescue, air interdiction for wayward planes that may threaten national assets, and a variety of other missions. So they're pretty good at what they do, and so I think they'll do a good job tonight.
They're pretty good at what they do, but you guys at the Coast Guard Foundation are really good at what you do as well. If people want to help out with the Coast Guard Foundation, where should they go?
Yeah, thanks for that. So we're proud to support the Coast Guard through education, morale and wellness, and emergency support. We support all Coast Guard members, their family members, their spouses, and they can go to you can go to coastguardfoundation.org. learn more about our mission, learn more about the Coast Guard, and see if you'd like to engage with us. We're nationwide. We'd love to have more people involved in our generous donor community. We have over 20,000 donors in our community. They're the greatest. They're the best. They're as good at what they do as what you all do in the Sport Fishing Championship. So thanks for that opportunity.
Appreciate that so much. Thank you so much, Ron Lebrecht. Ron with the Coast Guard Foundation. We're about to get one of those cranes fired up to fish Peter and Robbie out of Charleston Harbor. And when they get back and dried off, we'll get some more action from SFC's Charleston Carrier Cup. Let's see if the Seabirds hold on to that lead. You're watching live coverage on ESPN+.
Sign up for SFC's championship fish divisions for the chance to win cash and be featured in our live broadcast. Represent your favorite angling club and compete across 4 categories of meat fish, whether it be wahoo, yellowfin, tuna, swordfish, mahi-mahi. Fish anytime, as many times as you want between now and September 7th to win. You can go to sportfishingchampionship.com/championship fish 2026 to sign up now. I'm going to sign up. And again, with these teams and these championship fish, is a place where you had mentioned at the top of our show and mentioned throughout, again, some of these mahi might be the fish that these marlin are trying to munch on, but there's some big mahi-mahi, and one was caught just a couple of weeks ago.
You know, it seems like this year and last year there have been some giants caught around the world, 60s, 70s. So it's not uncommon. I know they caught a 67-pounder here probably 3 weeks ago, and it was a guy with a single engine with a woman. He has a short gaff, sticks the fish, falls backward in the boat, and it was a 67-pounder. So that's something to write home about.
That equals your personal best, right? Or right at it? You 60-something?
60, yeah, 62 something.
6'7".
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go back to South Florida Sales, currently sitting 4th place. Again, the tiebreakers are determined by who catches that, tying point paying fish first. But when you're the South Florida Sales, they get doubled up at the 1 o'clock hour. You don't want to catch just one when there's opportunity to catch multiples. Let's take a look back at that 1 o'clock hour and see how it went down for this team.
Right flat.
That was a snapper, man. That thing popped up and snapped it right out. He's tight like a tiger.
And you've said it many times, though, with the sales especially, though, wolf packs, there's groups of them. You want to take advantage of all of these fish. Even, I think earlier we heard Sarah Clear going, watch out, look for another one, like.
Always looking for another one, because those are the ones that win the tournaments. Those are the ones that get you there. If you don't take advantage of that moment, you got to think one fish in the spread, it's got to be others with them. Especially sailfish. They swim in packs.
And the crazy thing is yeah, there's more anglers on board. There's more rods in the water. You said you've caught multiple fish. You've caught 6 fish on the boat at one time. I have yet to see that. I want to see that. We've seen triples. I haven't seen a quad, I don't think, actually caught at the same time. That's the mayhem I want to see, and that's the mayhem they want to see too.
And it takes an organized, well-oiled team to be able to complete something like that. I mean, for sailfish, it's almost, honestly, Robbie, sometimes it's easier to catch 4 fish because you're basically cleared the lines and you have 75 points on the end of every rod. It becomes enjoyable as opposed to, okay, let's clear everything and go back on that one. Catching those 4, that racks up so quickly. And I remember tournaments where we had 27 or 35 in a day. And I remember thinking to myself, oh, we only have 27. And at the end of the day, I remember we turned our card in and I'm signing and we had 35. And I thought, wow, you forget about the doubles and the triples and you release one, you pitch one back out while you're on a double or triple and you catch another one. So technically, it is really a quad.
I mean, I can't even untangle my extension cords at home. So I look at every one of these as a possible extension cord.
Yeah, you've got to work on those extension cords. That's pretty heavy gauge. You should be able to do that. So once you perfect that, then you're going to be ready for a quad. This is going to be our practice. It's going to be our homework. We're going to put in some reps. But the thin one, not like the big heavy-duty ones, Little green Home Depot, kind of burn up when you try to hook up a refrigerator or toaster. Yeah.
So let's talk about equipment. While we do have 2 anglers, not just 1, but 2 hooked up at this moment. So again, 75 points per. And Paul Spencer, Lee Alpardi would get both of those on. But I think we got to dip out, Peter. We say we always do it. We've got a catch alert. We're going to it. East Coast Remix.
You want it in the
water?
You
got to dip it before you grip it.
Just in the water would be perfect. Right where you got it right now. I don't know.
So they're questioning.
They're trying to figure out what it is. Still unidentified swimming object.
But it's, again, we saw this last year. Even if it is a mahi, that's the bait fish of the billfish.
Mahi. So nice, they named it twice.
Well, maybe a blue marlin's going to chase it.
There's another boat.
Yeah, she said it.
Well, I was looking at some footage last night of a friend of mine who shot the most insane footage. He's got a blue marlin on the drone wailing on a 20-pound mahi.
Yeah.
Like beating it up and then eating it in midair.
You're not going to give your buddy any love?
Steve 360.
Okay.
That's on Instagram.
So everything you notice in this picture, it may be a little bit calmer than we saw earlier. We do see a couple of boats in the background. So are they our boats?
Oh, yeah.
There's another big tournament going on right now as well with some numbers.
Well, there's a cobia event, right? And then there's, I believe, another Viking event. And then, yep. And then they have, of course, we have the SFC Carrier Cup here in South Carolina. While we're sitting aboard the USS Yorktown at the 250th birthday of the United States of America.
Oh, my God. He's basically saying, come on, let's get this in. We've got some blue marlin to catch. But as you heard Sarah say, maybe a blue will.
Oh, man, with a clumposaurus on it, too. I mean, that's how big the clump is. They're backing down on a clump.
He had said that earlier. I'm like, oh,
that's a
come
first.
on.
That's a first, but sometimes it's easier.
Got to have a back it up Terry moment, but again, this is not a points-paying fish.
What's that sound?
It's the sound that somebody is hooked up, and it's our one team that needs a fish. They got to get that skunk off the boat.
It's the sound of the police.
Rhode Island Breakers, the newest team in Sport Fishing Championship, looking for their first fish of the tournament.
Looks like the right species to me. It looks like the billfish species of some sort. Very steady take. Usually you'll see the mahi, they're winding, they're pumping and winding during the fights when we go to them on the hookup. This looks interesting. He is winding, but fish could be parallel.
I want to see this billfish again. It would be their first qualified catch. Captain John Bowen, brand new Sport Fishing Championship. We'll follow through. We're not going anywhere. Make sure you stick with us here on ESPN. Got the Rhode Island Breakers hooked up, but with what?
I'm Trent Bonifay from the South Carolina Outcasts, and you're watching Sport Fishing Championship live on ESPN.
Discover heart-racing adventures, breathtaking views, and one-of-a-kind experiences that can only be found through the SFC experience on Guidesley and Guidesley Pro. Go to Guidesley.com to find your next outdoor experience. It can be like today. They have you hooked up, you show up, USS Yorktown, find out everything this facility is all about, and hook you up out there on the water as well, just like the Rhode Island Breakers. As not only did we see them going to break with a fish on, we're going to double sounder. We've got a double hookup, it looks like. Are they going to get both of these in, and what are they, Peter? We've yet to see them.
Well, the fact that they're both reeling quickly like that, even though they're going parallel to the fish.
Sails?
I know. It almost seems like mahi. I hate to say that, but I'm hoping it's sailfish. I'm hoping I'm very, very wrong.
I hope you're wrong, too.
Yep.
I very seldom say that, Peter. I hope that you're wrong.
One just whatever. I mean, then one's gone.
He go the may pop? Or it did pop? No, it's
the pulled hook, yeah.
Looks like he's still got
no.
pitch.
Yeah, no, he's got one, but the other fish came off. And he wasn't upset about it.
Oscar Evans, Henry Tomlinson, Brian Riley, Julie Gimma, Chris Mitchell on board, led by Captain John Bowen, been a captain about 10 years. Working with this crew aboard the El Bandito, the 66-foot Blackwell that we've seen running more North Atlantic type stuff. I think we're getting closer and closer to his fishing grounds, but you need to get some points before you get there.
El Bandito with an E. Yeah.
Bendito.
Got a little weight to it, and the fact that the other angler lost one and wasn't upset tells you.
So maybe
his wasn't. I don't know what this is.
Maybe we had a mixed bag. I mean, that would
be great.
That would be a perfect scenario of saying, okay, if that were a mahi and they just popped it off to just take the chance, and you do have a billfish, that's just everything that you've been talking about. go for those bait fish. The billfish are around. For the other anglers on board, the past couple of boats we've seen kind of had that thought process. Citizens lines out 27 minutes and change. 7 teams in search of that Citizen Trophy delivered each and every stop of Sport Fishing Championship.
Got 10 fish on the board so far.
If it's a blue
marlin, we got 3 blue marlin, the rest sailfish.
Yeah, if this happened to be a blue marlin, I don't know that it is, but if it happened to be, they'll probably be a big race tonight. Even with the South Carolina Outcast.
It's definitely like it's got back.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we do not know, and we saw a really quick, fast, small blue come in a minute. They've been fighting this one for a little bit already.
I would venture to say,
you'd think sail.
I'm watching the tip of the rod. I'm trying to get a gauge if it's bouncing, if it's maybe a tuna or something, because it's kind of straight up and down. It was on the surface, but it feels, the fact that it was 2 fish at once.
Yeah, and since we haven't even seen a tuna, you could be right.
It feels kind of mahi-ish, and if it was a mahi right now, it would be a decent-sized mahi the way it's putting a bend in that rod. I'm hoping it's something better.
And yes, we have our championship fish, but also they may be in the pot for something else and have an opportunity for some extra coin. And there's some side bets between boat to boat too for different things. Never know. It's putting a lot of pressure to it though. Where if you knew for certain, you probably wouldn't waste your time.
He's pumping pretty hard. We'll see if a gap comes in, or we'll see if the fish comes jumping up.
See that thing in this sun that we've got on the deck of the USS Yorktown. Your peepers are better than mine, even with glasses. Oh, it's not.
It's on my. It's
Dang
a. What was it?
It kind of looked like a tuna.
A little tuna.
Yeah, it looked like a tuna the way it was running.
Yeah, when they go straight up and down like that, it's it's kind of the tuna, but the rod tip wasn't bouncing, so it was really tough to detect.
Oh man, that's unfortunate. Again, and that one's not going to get you anything as far as even the championship, which was not a big one. 24 and change remaining in our Citizen Lights Out East Coast Remix. Let's take a look back at the first catch of the day. Again, they can put their lines in the water at 8:30, but only about 20 minutes after we would get hooked up. And a young man on board that vessel. They only had 5 a couple weeks ago. Now they got 7 on board.
That's right.
Right there, right about there. He was right here next to the boat. Mine got picked up. Amar's picked up. Lock up.
Amar Hernandez, the one to look for.
Push it up. Rod tip down and reel. Rod tip down, reel. You tight, reel. Keep reeling. Yep. Keep reeling.
Fish keeps coming at him.
Amar's tight.
Still coming at him.
Amar's tight. Love that sound. He's like,
watch it
he's got it.
Start cranking on yours. Start cranking. Crank. Keep reeling. Rod tip up, buddy. Amar, rod tip up. Come on over here. Go underneath. You want to go back out this left chain, or you want me to leave it in the boat? Yep. Underneath them. Go behind.
Did he see another one, or was he in those directions to Amar?
Keep on reeling. Sarah, reel on yours. Reel on your left long.
You want it in, or you want it?
No, we're just trying to find it. You want my aim all the way in? Nope. Fish yours. You're gonna come down. Keep reeling, Sarah. You're gonna be more than likely underneath. Look past your rod. Go over and under it. Right here, buddy. Put your rod on the other side of this. Yep. You good there?
See, Kenny's got the line in his hand, waiting for that little tick.
All right,
that
Kenny,
little
take
bite.
yours.
But all that direction, Amar was hooked up. They were giving that direction to Kenny on hooking another, right?
I think they were clearing and moving. They were getting things out of the way.
Corzo, run him back up.
You want to?
There was one in there yesterday that did not throw over there.
Corza, run him back up in the right long. I got it.
Because as you're going forward, you can run that bait back up in the rigger and still fish as you're bumping forward on Amar's fish.
Keep reeling, keep reeling.
And that's really, really, really important to do. You got to keep your baits wiggling.
Keep reeling. You're gonna have
Your
a lot of
worms
belly.
wiggling.
That's that loop in the line dropping down to the wave.
Yeah, and sometimes you get weed on there, which makes it like a 90-degree angle for where you think your fish is. A lot of times that belly is what keeps the hook in the fish because you're tight on the belly.
Right.
But then you got to come back, and a lot of times it can get a little wild. So you want to back with your belly. Like if you have the belly and the fish is ahead of the boat and your line's off the back of the boat, you want to back around and follow the belly.
Right there. No, you're fine, you're fine. See the little one, tiny. All right.
It's okay.
They're deceiving.
In this
Sometimes
cat,
you think it's a small sailfish that shows up like, yours. Remember yours on my boat?
Yeah.
It was a giant.
That was big.
You're gonna reel your
But
left
in this
long.
format, catch and release, you want the smaller fish
Left
of
long,
that
you're gonna go
variety,
over him.
whatever variety.
Yeah, sailfish are, they shouldn't take very long. 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I mean, if they get down and dirty, if they get wrapped, it's a whole different deal. But it shouldn't take very long.
Keep reeling, Ken.
White marlin, same thing. Blue marlin, whole different animal.
It's fine, Sarah. Brent's got it. Keep reeling, up and over. That's Kenny that's in him, right?
Yeah, it's a chuggerhead.
You have to go for a roll?
Yeah.
That's not
Okay,
another
heard
one, right?
Chuggerhead mentioned.
Protecting the bait, making a smoke trail, looking for marlin.
This is where you get all your scoop. This is where you get all your scoop right here. Just listen to this dive.
Love it.
Just rod tip it first. We need confirmation. Stick that camera in the water.
I got confirmation on it.
All right, maybe stick it in the water.
You got it, you got
Rod
it.
tip down, walk back. Rod tip down.
So he's saying run it to the rod tip. Don't worry about the touch. Let's get it to the tip, and then you can worry about releasing.
Good job, guys. Camera's still rolling.
Really good.
Good job, Amar. Good job, Amar. Way to do it, bro. Look at that little guy. This is your long for that side. You want to cut this thing off for me?
Okay, can I turn the camera off?
Amar's looking like Neymar. I mean, he's got some skills. The soccer player. I didn't know if you know soccer.
Don't be scared. Cut it.
I know
Release
Pele.
number one.
Neymar's like that, but different.
Good job, Amar. Good job, Amar. Great job. Day one.
What do you think?
Good job.
Amar.
Turn it off. Let me go. Excuse me.
And that,
Nice to draw first blood there in the morning.
and be a young kid too, and not have somebody catch it and hand it to you.
850, do we want to keep it on the phone?
850, also say it to the camera.
Yeah, I'll put it on my phone.
850.
So again, that is the first catch of the tournament. Things you hear there, the way that they approach that, keeping lines in the water, clearing lines, how to get that qualified catch. And also you saw something at the end too, could be fishing 2 tournaments at the same time as well. You could be in the Carrier Cup, but also tied into another tournament.
If it's allowed, you got to do it.
Yeah, double your money.
Yeah. It's like ordering Postmates. Are you going to be in your house for 2 days? Order 2 sandwiches.
Absolutely. Citizen lines out almost at that 19-minute mark. We saw the first catch of the day. You see the Seabirds leading by about 375 points over the Remix. Both of those teams have blue marlins. The Flair, Sails, Lights Out, and Outcast have sails. Still looking for that first from Rhode Island.
My name is Colby Causey, and I'm the historian here at Patriots Point. So this is the USS Yorktown CV-10. The keel was laid down a week before Pearl Harbor. 13 months later, we were on our way to our shakedown cruise. We were named in honor of CV-5, the USS Yorktown that was lost at the Battle of Midway. Here at Patriots Point, we are working hard to honor every era of this ship's service. So you're going to walk into different spaces and you're going to see a World War II ready room, or you might see a pilot stateroom from the 1960s, or a pilot's room from the 1970s. You're able to see all of the different stages of this ship's life.
Keeping these ships alive is tougher than it looks. These ships, they were made 80 years ago, and in the case of the Yorktown, made in 18 months to last maybe a couple decades. And here we are 80 years later.
So here at Patriots Point, we try to show a lot of the different eras of carrier aviation, not just our own time span. So while we have our complete World War II complement, but except one plane, we also show a lot of several more modern jets to show you how carrier aviation has continued to evolve in the years since we were an active warship.
We're a museum ship, we're a tourist attraction, we're an office building, we're a school, we're an overnight camp. It's a lot of work, but man is it rewarding when you see people on here enjoying what we've built, what we take care of, and it's an honor for us to be the next stewards of these ships. For us to have naval graduations where we see the next generation of Navy nuclear mechanics, nuke school right down the street, come on board, and then at the end of the graduation here where they're getting shipped all over the world to serve our country is really neat.
You know, one thing that makes this job really special is when a veteran comes on board, and it's like they're coming home again. And you know, they could lead me around this ship and they show me the spaces where they lived and worked, and they talk about how dangerous it was, and they talk about their friends that might not have made it back. It's a place where history, it comes alive, and families are able to come here and be a part of that and learn about past generations of Americans who served.
The nationwide, worldwide coverage that this sport brings is great for us just to be able to share that we are here. The Yorktown's here for people to learn from. You can learn, you can come visit, you can stay here in Charleston and be part of this thing too.
So if you're in Charleston, be sure to come on down and visit us at Patriots Point. We would love to have you aboard and learn a little bit about our history.
I'm here to tell you, we walked around and checked out some of the things. This is absolutely cool. I mean, really good. I've been to Tallahassee, you know, seen museums all over. But again, thank you to all our military, the Coast Guard for everything they do. But seeing how they live, how they did what they did is just unbelievable.
It's remarkable.
Unbelievable. 7 boats out on the water. Citizen lines out at 14 on the dot. That's when they will have to have their lines out of the water unless they are hooked up at that moment and they have called it in prior to the clock striking 0. Now we do have a little bit of a lag between our Starlink, our control room, and actually us here on the USS Yorktown. So I would give it a 10-second fudge period, but and we have seen that actually already happen this year.
Oh, I'm feeling like we need to go look at another boat.
You feeling it?
I'm feeling something. I'm feeling the vibe.
You live
tickles. I got the tickles, Robbie, and it's happening. It's coming to fruition.
You
We've
live
got the South
that.
Carolina Outcast with a hookup alert. I call it a hookup alert. They call it a catch alert, but I'd like to see you get to the boat first.
I like to see the home team looking good here in front of the hometown fans. They want to party tonight with Brian Kelly. American 250 concert kicking off the summer. Outcast one more fish and put them in a tie for 3rd. But if again, we'll be in 5th as far as the tiebreaker.
You can tell the pressure on the drag and everything by holding it by the reel and just in front of the reel.
Yeah.
That it doesn't have a lot of heat on the fish. Fish is staying up, winding strong, getting all that line back, backing up fast. You know, these are heroics. You know, the last 12 minutes of a tournament where you can come in and knock one out to end the day always feels good. Say knock another one out.
At each spot, we always talk about leading or ending the day with a fish and picking up the next day with a fish. Well, first you got to end the day. to start
It
off.
is such a great feeling to end with a fish.
Getting the power hour right here.
It came back hot on that fish. There it is, sailfish. That is a 75-pointer on the end of his line, coming back fast, trying to get that leader.
That's like run it to the tip. Run it to the tip.
He tipped it.
Yeah. You heard JC say that to his team. He's like, we'll do the other later. Let's go and run it to the tip.
Ooh, that was a snapperoo.
Oh boy. Yes.
And that didn't take long for our verification process with the IGFTO.
Been working through this grass all day, finally pay it off. We got a little bit of time, we're gonna get another one real quick.
Nice work. Yeah, you know, it's hard. You don't want to fish in the grass, but that's where they are. That's where the little guys are feeding, and that's where the bigger fish come in.
Let's find out how it actually began, because again, this is really key. Did they see it?
Oh, that's a snapper outer right there.
So you're not hearing a word from them, but you can see that.
He saw something, he walked over to it, and it popped out, and he dropped back, and...
I mean, no mention, though. I mean, nothing. No verbal.
That's what you don't need that.
Now
Lackey sees another one. And again, you can tell by the way he's holding the reel, it's like 5 pounds of drag.
Right.
You're not holding 20 pounds like that. That's a little tough on the wrist.
He is looking for a little communication now. He put his headset down over in front of his mouth. IGFTO instant replay. This is the catch just a moment ago, but saw the front end of it, how it all went down. And here's that jump from the sail, 75 points. Yep, no doubter.
Nice jump, full-size, full-grown sail out there in the deep. A little less than 10 minutes to go, Robbie, in the tournament. We got that Citizen lines out clock. 9 minutes, ticking down, 27 seconds.
Official timekeeper of Sport Fishing Championship. They'll be counting down the hours, minutes of every competition this season, all the way to the final seconds of the Zane and Grey Championship playoffs. It'll be in October. You can join us down there, Corazon Resort. You ever want to come here to the Yorktown also, there's a nice resort just, I mean, within walking distance, about 100 yards away. That's where I'm staying, very nice.
I mean, there's redfish swimming around.
Oh yeah, there's people bringing rods and reels.
Yeah.
There's people bringing rods and reels just to the area right here where we're at in Mount Pleasant. Patriots Point, I think they're celebrating 50 years of this area of the Patriots Point. That happened, I guess, during the 1776 celebration, or 1976 celebration.
You know, my dad loaded bombs. Oh, you have a ladybug on your chest.
I'm not knocking it off.
No, keep it on there.
No, finish your deal. Your dad loaded bombs on what?
He was loading bombs into aircraft carriers. I mean, into the planes.
The planes?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
That's weird, wild stuff.
Yeah. I got all the black and white photos. I got hundreds and hundreds of them.
My grandfather was a CB. He was in the Pacific. Rolling through each one of our teams right now. New Jersey Seabirds currently in the lead.
Rolling with the homies.
900 points. You don't have to be very good at math to know that means 2 blue marlin, right? 2 450 pointers.
We've got good at that. 900, oh.
But you still know Remix needs another blue marlin to take the lead, because if not, how many is that? 4, 5? It's 5. They've got to catch 5 sails just to catch up to the Seabirds.
The Remix is, they started out hot. You know, they got their sail, they got their blue, and now they're patiently awaiting, hopefully, some last 7 minutes heroics.
All of them are sinking that as well. North Carolina Flair currently in 3rd place. Thurman Humphreys with that catch today at 10:26. Solid job by him. And again,
they're on a skeleton crew. The rest of the family's at a wedding. They're catching sailfish out there, representing the team, the brand, the club.
We hear they'll be back tomorrow, though, right?
Oh yeah.
Team Dressler.
Yep.
Today they're more undressler. South Florida Sails just behind them in 4th. And again, North Carolina AC, Flair AC, they need to turn it up because they finished with 2 6th place finishes. South Florida Sails kind of been on a roll after taking a victory at the last round. They're in 4th, but they're currently sitting 2nd. They're 2nd in the championship points coming into this event.
Yeah, and you see the Flair, Sails, and Outcast all with 150 points. They all have, those 3 boats have 2 sailfish apiece. And basically, one to catch the first fish one that can catch the first 2 sailfish, they're obviously in 3rd. So they have the same amount of fish, but it's who catches it first.
Got it.
Yeah, I'll say it 3 different ways, and last time I'll try it the right way.
Whenever you get that points-paying fish first, you've got the tiebreaker.
Yeah, listen, if you catch something, say something.
Oh, Outcast. A little disappointment. The team in 6th, though. Lights Out Boston, the team that won the Atlantic Division last year. Very consistent, but especially, you know, midway through the season, they just put their foot down on the throttle. Breakers still looking for their first fish. We saw a non-point paying fish earlier.
Yeah, they had a looked like a nice sized tuna. Lights out, you know, they're the Atlantic Division leaders, if I'm not mistaken.
The winners, right? Yeah, and leaders, yeah, this year. But I'm saying they won it last year in the Atlantic. But the difference between it's like two different worlds, right? They start the season with a victory down in Key West, and then they finish 4th in Walker's Cay. Just behind them in points is the Sails that, you know, finished 5th in that first event. Nobody can like get up the top and just stay up there. We saw that out of Lights Out. We saw that out of Seabirds last year. We're not seeing that out of any teams this year.
Just waiting, bated breath. 4.5 minutes to go. Just hoping to raise that fish. Or 2.
Yeah, because even though the New Rhode Island Breakers are in 7th right now out of 7 teams, if they catch a blue marlin before Citizens lines out, they would jump up to 3rd and a fair advantage over 3rd. So you cannot quit. You have to fight to the end.
And you know, there's always a situation where, you know, things we don't necessarily see, and there may have been more fish up in the spreads, you know.
They're trying to rip through some stuff there by the.
It's like flares maybe clearing some weeds.
Yeah. Just when I label them.
I love when clearing weeds becomes a sailfish.
Oh, minutes left. Citizens lines out. Who's going to take home the Citizen Trophy this week? Made out of carbon fiber in shape of a hook. It's really cool. I'd like to have one on my mantle. That's about the only trophy you don't have, Peter.
It's kind of hard, Robbie. Did they give trophies for talking about fishing?
You stay up here. You stay up here. Yeah, Tellies. Hey, congratulations on winning 25, 26 Tellies last week. Yeah, congratulations, bro.
Uncharted waters. Yeah, it airs again tomorrow on Discovery. Check it out.
Hey, watch it out. Like the promo guy. But,
well, I mean,
hey, that is quite feat. That is quite a feat, bro.
It was quite le feat. It was very French. I couldn't believe it.
Did my show, was that one of the ones that was in there?
No.
Damn,
not
that's
your
the one
show,
that got
Rob. Although your show was excellent because you were quite the entertainer. We rode in the Lincoln. We took the 64 Lincoln, went to dinner. We had some cocktails.
Hey, I want to point out, too,
we hired a driver to take us home.
Yes, we did. The fans that are watching here, the Lowcountry, Peter, I know you came in last night. I came in during the day. I've already went through a couple of places. 82 Queen, delicious. Fleet Side across the way, delicious. I had my first cobia. This is a really cool city. First time I've been to Charleston. It's old school. I mean, it's the heart of the South back in the day, but it is so much to do.
Everybody has great things to say. Oh, that looked like.
No, I thought he's been
so
popping
too.
up ripping.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, but a lot of things to do here if you're not on the Yorktown checking it out. It'll take you half a day just to walk around this place. Thinking about doing the haunted carriage tour. Haunted tour. Citizen lines out. Again, if somebody gets hooked up before it strikes 0, they will be able to fight that fish to completion. We still do not have actual verification of that blue marlin from the East Coast Remix. I don't believe.
Yeah, I believe we're gonna have to wait, Robbie. I think we're gonna have to wait till they come in with their underwater footage.
Yeah. And they could send it, from the water. Our cameraman could do it, but if they don't want to send it, they want to be more concerned about fishing. I understand that. If they know they've got it. We did see that earlier in the year with the Louisiana Canyons. They sent back a leader touch, remember, or a rod tip touch that we would not have seen from our.
Well, that's right. The 360 cam caught it. The knot went in and out of the guy, the tip, like 3 times.
And I believe once again tomorrow at 8:30 they can have lines in the water. And one thing also, reading the rules, and I know you've taken it and you've known it your whole life, even though the lines can go in, you can't have bait or anything else, or you can't be sonar on up until that time.
I have a thing we used to do, Robbie, that's pretty interesting. It just kind of hit me. Sometimes you get the fish close to the boat and you just cannot get that last little reach, that little inch. It's a 15-foot leader on 20-pound test. You just quite can't get there, because once you're up and down on it, the fish goes, obviously it's straight down. So when the fish is scoped out, what we would do is we'd walk back as far as we could in the cockpit, almost to the window of the salon, and the line would still be in that same angle, and we were able to reach that leader because we walked back 8 feet.
Yeah. Oh,
that's something we used to do quite a bit because it was the difference of getting the catch at that very moment.
I remember seeing that on SFC's The Catch, telling one of the football players, hey, just back it up, Terry. I mean, literally, not the boat, but the angler themselves.
A lot of people stand over top of the fish when you're trying to get the leader.
No.
You got to back up, but when you do back up, if that fish does anything erratic, you've got to move really, really fast. Don't make the mistakes. 13 seconds left. Citizen lines out clock.
Again, there is a little bit of a slippage in time because everything's done from satellite. We're not showing you tape delayed or anything else like that. It's live out on the water. And although our Citizen's clock has hit 0, there may be a 5 to 10 second gap just from the satellite going up and the video footage coming back.
It looks like they've gotten the word on the remix. Well, you know, Robbie, on a day like today, to be able to have 11 fish with our 7 teams, with 3 of those being blue marlin, that's it's nothing to sneeze at. You know, they have to run far and wide from sea to shining sea, as Rosie Rios said. But they got it done. You know, there were fish caught. We've had tournaments when the conditions aren't right, and we've seen a couple fish. This was a productive day. Mahis, tunas, blue marlin, sailfish. I believe this is going to be a great event, and I think we're off to a very good start.
11 billfish caught so far, and we're still counting. This is not just a one-day, one-trick pony. This is a 3-day event. On the other side of this break, we're going to hear from the New Jersey Seabirds. Blaine Birch, the captain of that vessel, he found 2 blues, and that's why they're in the lead. Charleston Carrier Cup is sponsored by Albright, official technology partner of SFC Carrier Cup. By Scout. By Cat Blanchard. And by America 250. $350 for $250, Peter. That was our word for the day, right? Our
That's right. 350 million people for the 250-year birthday of the Americas.
I hear something. It's coming closer. Somebody's honking a horn back behind us, but that's the end of our day. Our Citizen Lines Out horn just sounded. A great day one, I think. I mean, they were catching fish early. We were able to see some blues, some sails. Everybody got one except for Rhode Island Breakers. They're still in it for the next 2 days because we saw that out of the remix last time.
Yeah, and every day's been a little different here. When everybody first got here, the bite was hot, and then past couple of days it kind of tapered off. And then today, you know, for teams to have shots at blue marlin still in these rough conditions with the weed is a big factor.
Yeah.
The fish are in the weed, but the weed gets on your bait, so you can't be as productive as you like. However, one team was able to do just that.
Yeah, and find the right kind of fish as well. Taking a look at the leaderboard as it stands right now on day one of the completion. Again, they have to all be verified, and we're still missing that verification from East Coast Remix. But looking at the standings, if you throw in their 2 fish with that sail and the blue marlin, we know we saw 2 blues out of the Seabirds. Again, it's still early in the game. We're at the 3rd mark. You know, it's not quarters. We're the first 1/3 is done. We still have 2 full days ahead.
And we've seen a lot can happen in a very short amount of time. You know, doubles. You know, last when we did the Walker's Cay, there was a giant marlin, and then that's the female, and then a male marlin, a smaller fish, came up. They had 2 marlin, blue marlin, spread at the same time. That's 900 points swimming behind the boat. That's a tournament-winning moment right there, and that can happen to any boat tomorrow. It can happen to any boat on Sunday.
And the things you need, like Lights Out Boston, currently, 75 points out of what would, in essence, be a tie for 3rd. Those little differences make all the difference. One little sailfish, I say little sailfish, they can be big or small, but a sailfish early on, a sailfish later. That 75 points is point precious, but you've got to take advantage. If you do get that blue, you see a blue, you better get it in.
Yeah, I'd be a little tense out there when blue would come up. You'd feel like you're in the zone. You know what you've done. You've done it your whole life. But when the bites are few and far between, or maybe you've missed a couple, you're kind of like, oh boy, I hope I just feed it just right. And you don't want to overthink it. But that starts to come into play. Nerves, conditions, your deployments. What do you have out there? What are you fishing with? Why didn't you raise them on that stuff? Do you change everything? Robbie, you've got a ladybug on your face over there. That's really good luck.
It's supposed to be bad luck if you knock them off, and I must have the ladybug.
Oh, wait, that's not a ladybug. That's a tick.
Oh, if it's that wasp, it was on you. I'm in trouble.
Robbie, you're going to be okay.
One thing we haven't mentioned really too much lately is weather. This is supposed to be the best day as far as weather. It was a little cloudy and overcast. Some people went out yesterday. Some stayed home. It's supposed to have a little rain. Does it make a difference to you or to them when they're already in water?
Yeah, anytime you have the barometric pressure change, with the rain and the changing conditions, it changes the dynamics of the fish. Do they feed or do they go into hiding? It's kind of like a fight or flight type thing. Sometimes they feel like they need to eat everything before a storm comes and they want to find all the food they can. Other times they're like, let's hunker down. It's only going to be a couple days. We know we can, lick their fin and hold it up in the air, and they know.
What about offshore stuff? I know bass fishing, people talk about the moon phases. You one of those guys too?
Moon phase is tremendous because the fish will feed during a full moons all night.
Right.
So when you go to fish in the morning, they're all bloated. It's like it's like in college when you would eat an entire pizza by yourself and a pitcher of beer. You're bloated. You're not going to come up for air until dinner. That's exactly what these mahi are doing. And the marlin and the sailfish and the white marlin, they feed, they get full, they'll go down in the thermocline, they'll go chill there for a while, 200-300 feet, and then 3 o'clock rolls around, 3 p.m., they'll come up and start feeding again. Very typical.
It's a little off. They may be full at breakfast, become lunch or dinner time, they're hungry once again.
Late lunch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go. What do you do when you come back? Do you start looking also at empirical stuff as well, like the electronic things and the ROFs that you were mentioning and stuff like that? You calling your good old boy hotline as well?
You call everybody. You check in with everybody. You hear what they got, what they raised, and a lot of people keep it close to their chest. They might not say, like, hey, we lost 3, had 3 that came up, we never got bites, or they might not say anything because they don't want anybody to follow them over there. But you definitely want to get your ROFs charts at night, the same night when you come back, and then you want to get the morning ones at like 10 a.m. when they come out, when they get the most up-to-date ones, and hopefully you're in the right spot. But generally, you'll have a very good feeling for where to go the night before, but then they'll just confirm that in the morning.
Hopefully get it close and at least work you towards that right direction. The man who was in the right place at the right time was Blaine Birch, the captain for New Jersey Seabirds. Going to try and talk to him live out on the water. They're making their run back. Now we got you, Blaine. Hey, bud, congratulations. Pretty good day. Got you on top of the leaderboard.
Nice work.
Thank you. Yeah, it was pretty good. We got up there and catch a couple blues.
Oh, there you go.
It was a good day. Had a couple blues there. Found a little pocket out of the grass. The grass was atrocious. It was one of the worst days we've ever seen. So we kind of made some adjustments, made it move, put some different stuff out. We were able to get them to come up, and it was a good day. Caught a couple.
That's it's funny you say that because we overheard you saying something like, hey, let's keep the lures out. And then we were trying to figure out, like, did you put a lure out and that raised the fish, but it came in and then you pitched a bait to it? Or did your last fish eat a lure? What happened there?
So the first one came in, since the grass was so bad, I wanted to change the stuff up a little bit. So we put out 2 lures on the short riggers with no hooks. Had one come in there on the left short. Teased him all the way in, gave him a pitch bait, because we caught him on a pitch, and then the second fish came in on the teaser, and we were able to pitch him as well. So it was both beautiful pitch bites. Couldn't have asked for a better bite.
Very nice.
As far as the grass and having to deal with that, that's just something, it's a fact of life. You've got to be around the grass to catch a fish, but unfortunately you're around the grass because that's where the fish are. Have you noticed some of the bait fish, like previous times we saw mahi and then, a billfish would catch? Have you seen some of these bait fish as well?
Yeah, there was a ton of flyers. Not so much dolphin, but the grass was just so bad. It was, like I said, it was like the worst we've ever seen. And it wasn't stacked up. It was all in lanes, and you couldn't troll perpendicular to it. You were trying to work it, but it was just everywhere you went. It was just, we couldn't even fish dredges. You couldn't even keep the baits clean. It was that bad. So, the guys worked really hard downstairs to keep the baits clean and keep the teasers clean, and so we're able to get lucky and get a couple bites that way.
Nice work on those fish. Now, tomorrow, it looks like the conditions change a little bit. Doesn't look as much rain as they had originally forecasted. What are you seeing for the forecast tomorrow?
I haven't even looked yet. I still have to go look at all the reports, kind of figure out which way to go, see where the fish were caught today. So it's going to be a challenge to kind of figure out, but it's going to be a tense moment trying to figure out where to go to hopefully stay on top.
Thanks a lot, brother. We appreciate it. Again, I know it's not a one-day tournament. If it was, you'd have won this thing. But I know you're looking to take home that Citizen Trophy from 2 days' time from now. Good luck. Congratulations on your first day, and re-rack and restack for tomorrow.
Nice work. Way to go, birds.
Thanks, guys.
You got it.
Again, and we heard that the team owner, Ken Hager, not here. He's feeling a little under the weather, but Ken, his team is doing really well.
That's got to feel good. That always encourages, makes the body healthier when your boys are doing well out there, especially when they give you a shout out. It feels good.
I heard him mention, and I didn't understand this because I get the lure part, but he said a lure with no hook.
Well, that's a teaser.
Yeah,
I mean, basically,
that's what it is now.
When you're marlin fishing in different parts of the world, like Hawaii, for instance, or Costa Rica, they'll put out these giant lures with skirts with no hooks. You could put a hook in it, and I always thought to myself, like, why aren't we putting hooks? Because they keep biting that thing, Yeah. But the better hookup for me, from what I like to use, is obviously as a circle hook, and I love to pitch bait marlin. So if you can get a lure like that, and you can tease them up with that big bubble trail, the smoke, and that thing's popping out of the water, you get them fired up. When they see that mackerel, when they see that big ballyhoo and that pitch come in, they have to have it, right? Mm-hmm. So you've teased them up. It's kind of like it's hard to understand why you would do that, but you have a better hookup ratio with a live bait a lot of times when it's close to the boat. Maybe a long range lure way in the back. Maybe you'll be okay there, but the bottom line is if you could pitch bait a fish that's close, you're going to have a better hookup percentage.
Either way, they did it. They did it right, and they're going to probably do more of it tomorrow, but it just shows you. He's like, I haven't even thought about tomorrow. I've thought about it. You've thought about it. We hope we're on deck here. If not, we're going to be down below. We've got a Brian Kelly concert to check out tonight as well. It's all a big kickoff for the Carrier Cup, kicking off the summer in America 250. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out and that were here on site. If you haven't been here to the USS Yorktown, you need to come check it out at Patriots Point Museum. On behalf of Chloe Turner, Rudy Tamarchio, Peter Miller, I'm Robbie Floyd. The New Jersey Seabirds are on top. Tune in tomorrow at noon on YouTube and see if they can do it again. We'll follow it up on ESPN Plus at the top of the 1 o'clock hour. Day one is done. We'll see you tomorrow on day number 2 of the Carrier Cup.